Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Milestone and my channel is all about finding your passion, fulfilling your potential and achieving your goals. As it's Black History Month, it's only right that we talk about inspirational black people in the UK. And there are loads, so many to pick from, and I've tried to distill it down to 10 that I like the most. They are some stars, some celebrities that you all know, some lesser known names, some business people, some entrepreneurs. So I hope you enjoy this video. So let's get into it. So first up on my list is Dame Sharon White. So Dame Sharon White was appointed as chair of John Lewis in 2019. She's also held a number of roles, including the civil service, where she served as Secretary of the Treasury from 2013 to 2015. Dame Sharon has worked at board level for the Ministry of Justice and the Department for International Development as well. She was also an advisor to the Prime Minister's Policy Unit during the Tony Blair days, so she's done a lot of things, been incredibly successful, and is a hugely inspirational figure that's number one on my list. Due to all her wonderful achievements in business, Dame Sharon was appointed a Dame in the 2020 New Year's Honours list. Next up on my list is Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis Hamilton, for those of you that don't know, is an F1 driver. In fact, Lewis Hamilton is the most successful F1 driver of all time, with 7 world titles, matching the great Michael Schumacher. He also has 100 race wins, making him the top of that list of most race wins ever. So he is the certified GOAT of F1 if there ever was one. And for me, what makes this achievement even more great is that he is the only black F1 driver in the entire championship. So he's really paving the way and inspiring the next generation. Off the track, he supported the Black Lives Matter movement. He's been a leading figure in getting other F1 drivers to take the knee. In fact, he also risked a fine by the F1 governing body by wearing a t-shirt that says, "Arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor." So he's not willing to be silent, and he's willing to stand up and speak and fight for justice and equity, which I love. He's also a big believer in giving back and paving the way forward, and in June last year he established the Hamilton Commission in partnership with the Royal Academy of Engineering, and it's looking at ways to get more black people with STEM backgrounds employed into F1, which is wonderful. He was also named last year as the most influential black person in the UK. Next up on my list is Yvonne Bajella. So Yvonne is a founder and principal in a UK-based venture capital firm that invests in companies led by underrepresented founders at the seed and Series A stages. She set up her company in 2019 and was named as Forbes as one of their 30 entrepreneurs under 30 in finance after investing more than $200 million in various startups across Europe, Middle East and Africa. Yvonne is also a committee member at the London Chambers of Commerce, and she sits on a number of other boards and is a guest lecturer at the City University in London. And amongst all these other things, she's also a huge advocate for female empowerment. The next person on my list is David Olusoga, OBE. So David is a British historian, writer, broadcaster, presenter and filmmaker. He's a professor of public history at the University of Manchester, and he has presented historical documentaries for various national broadcasters including the BBC, and he's also featured in The One Show and The Guardian on several occasions. In 2020, David joined forces with over 175 other historians to call on the Home Office to remove the history element of the UK citizenship test because of its misleading and false representation of slavery and the empire. David is also an author, and his 2016 book, Black and British: A Forgotten History, was awarded both the Longman History Today Trustees Award and the Penn Hessel Tiltman Prize as well. David's done so well, in fact, he's been described as the new face of BBC history. And he's fronted a series of high-profile primetime documentaries, including the acclaimed adaptation of his book, Black and British: A Forgotten History. Woo! I'm loving this, and we're only halfway there. And if you're enjoying this video too, please subscribe and like as well, because I've got lots more great content to come and some big interviews on the way. But let's continue with the list. So next up on my list is Patricia Bright. So Patricia is a YouTube sensation. She's a beauty, business, finance, personal development and lifestyle guru who was one of the first black British YouTubers to reach 1 million subscribers. She began making videos over 10 years ago after leaving her job at the City, and people really connect with her content as it's very down to earth, genuine, and really inspiring as well. Patricia has also just become a talk show host, having been snapped up by If I Could Tell You Just One Thing on YouTube, which is being produced by a production company that's being supported by Hillary Clinton. And in this show, she speaks to various notable, inspirational and successful women to ask them what is their key to success. Among them, she speaks to Joanne Collins, Floella Benjamin and Steph London. So check it out if you haven't already. Next up on my list is Stephen Bartlett. So Stephen is the founder and CEO of Social Chain, which is a integrated social media company. Now I love Stephen's story because it's proof that you don't always need a formal education to be a big success when it comes to business. After dropping out of university, Stephen built the group's two flagship companies, Social Chain and Media Chain, from his bedroom in Manchester when he was just 22 years old. Can you imagine? He then went on to take the company public with a valuation of over £200 million. His company's gone on to do really well, and he's got a really strong lineup of clients including Nokia, Amazon and Coca-Cola. He's also huge on social media and he tends to post loads of inspirational content and interviews, and I think he's got over 2 million followers across his platforms. Next up on my list is Kike Oniwinde. So Kike is the co-founder and chief executive of the BYP network, which is short for the Black Young Professionals Network. The BYP network is described as the LinkedIn for black professionals. It enables ambitious future leaders to network, connect with corporations to form meaningful connections, and it also helps them get access to coveted job opportunities. The network has over 50,000 members and it helps them find career opportunities, but alongside that, they also work with large organizations to ensure their recruitment process is fair and equitable and doesn't discriminate against black people. They've gained huge success and have big partners such as Adobe, Airbnb, Sky and Lloyds Bank. And they have an app that's been downloaded in over 65 countries. Alongside the wonderful achievements of her business, Kiki's also won loads of personal awards. She features in the Forbes 30 Under 30. She was selected as a Maserati 100 Innovators. She's a top 100 BAME UK leader in tech and a World Economic Forum Global Shaper. A lot of awards, so well-deserved place on this list. Next up on my list is someone that probably most of us know. It's Marcus Rashford. So Marcus, for those of you who don't know, is a professional footballer who plays for Manchester United and represents England at country level. He's a hugely inspirational role model on the pitch, but off it as well. Rashford has campaigned against racism, homelessness, and child poverty in the UK, all to great success, and he's done a lot to change the narrative and also make a big difference on his own and with others. In 2019, Rashford set up the In The Box campaign with Selfridges to give homeless people over Christmas time the essentials they needed to survive. And this is something that he wanted to do since starting training with Manchester United at the youth level. So it just shows you how mature and compassionate he is as a person. Alongside that, during lockdown in the UK last year, teamed up with the poverty and food waste charity Fair Share to support a campaign that delivers food to children who would no longer receive free school meals as schools were shut. The campaign was hugely successful and the initiative quickly raised over £20 million. This was used to provide food for children nationwide who used to receive free school meals but couldn't because they were at home. In total, the charity was able to reach 3 million children across the country, which is a phenomenal achievement that wouldn't have happened without Rashford's support. But Rashford didn't stop there. After this, he wrote an open letter to the government urging them to end child poverty in the UK. And a day later, the government announced a huge change in their policy, meaning they would provide school meals, free school meals to children who would be eligible for these usually, even though schools were shut and people were learning at home. So a massive U-turn that was almost unprecedented by the government, thanks to Marcus's letter and his strong campaigning to end child poverty in the UK. This meant that 1.3 million kids would now receive free school meals at home. Truly inspiring stuff. And as a result, Marcus was awarded an MBE, in the New Year's Honours list last year. The next person on my list is Michaela Coel, the well-known actor, writer and director, probably most well-known for her massive lockdown hit last year, May I Destroy You. For the show, Michaela mined her own dark and traumatic experiences of racism and sexism for the HBO and BBC series, which won huge widespread acclaim when it aired last year in June. The show was praised for so many things, but the thing that stood out to me the most was we had a black female lead, a really good black supporting cast as well, and none of them conformed to any stereotypes, which is very rare on mainstream TV. We don't see that too often, so that's what I loved about the show. Last year, Michaela revealed that she turned down a $1 million deal for the show I May Destroy You from Netflix because they were refusing to let her retain the rights to the show. The drama then went on to achieve huge success, and it actually won an Emmy for Best Writing, and she's probably made a lot more than she would have from that $1 million deal that Netflix tried to offer her. So big boss moves from Michaela there. Last but certainly not least on my list is Stormzy. Yes, Stormzy, as most of us will know, he's a well-known UK rapper, has had multiple number ones, he's won loads of Mobos, he's also got a Mercury Prize as well, had huge success commercially, but what I want to talk about now is more what he's done aside from music, because that's what's really inspirational to me. In August 2018, Stormzy launched a scholarship program for black students who wanted to enroll in Cambridge. So he put money behind this program that would fully fund black students' education into Cambridge. Unbelievable. So he's given people an opportunity that perhaps he didn't have, his family, his friends, people in his circle, other black people. He's paving the way forward for them, giving them opportunities that they wouldn't have, and I absolutely love it. I'm here for that. So big up Stormzy for that. But that wasn't all. So in the aftermath of the Black Lives Matter movement, Stormzy announced that he would be donating £10 million to charities, organisations and movements that were committed to fighting racial inequalities. So hats off to Stormzy. There's nothing more you can do. So that's my top 10. So many great people on that list. So many great people that I missed out. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment below if there are other black people that inspire you that you want to share with others. And if you haven't already, subscribe, because I've got lots more content to come. So thanks for watching, and let's keep chasing those goals.